Today we're going to be going over modern Dior Homme and vintage Dior Homme. I'm going to be comparing how they smell, how they perform, and basically the differences between both of them. If that sounds interesting, let's jump into it. So let's start off with the vintage Dior Homme. The way you know this is vintage is by the silver stem. As you can see right there, the stem down the middle is silver rather than black. So the older version is definitely a lot more smooth. It's a little bit more refined. It's smoother. It comes across as a little bit more masculine. I definitely pick up on a lot more leather as well. This one is a little bit more masculine. There is still the very prominent iris note, but because of the leather, because of the blend of notes, it comes across as more of a masculine scent and less metrosexual, if you will. This one still definitely has that unique factor that Dior Homme has, and it's just a really solid scent. Performance is honestly about the same as the new version. I really don't get better performance from either of them. They're both moderate, nothing beast mode here. If you want better performance out of your Dior Homme frags, you would want to go with Dior Homme Intense, Dior Homme Parfum, but just the regular Dior Homme, I get about the same performance in the vintage as I do with the modern. So the modern Dior Homme, this one you can tell it's modern because of the black stem. So this one definitely way more fresh. It's a lot more on the fresh side. It's got more citrus. It's also got, to my nose, a little bit more of a prominent cardamom note. Not by too much, but it does stand out to me more in this one. And overall, it just kind of leans in the similar direction that Dior Homme Eau does. It has this freshness from the citrus. It is just a little bit more fresh. The leather in this one is toned down a little bit more. The iris comes up with the citrus, and overall it's just more fresh in this than in the vintage. This one also has some more spices in it as well, and overall they do smell very similar, just subtle nuances that enthusiasts may pick up on more so than just your regular average person who really doesn't care too much about fragrances. There are differences, but like I said, for the most part they are similar. Performance on this one is moderate, just as this one, so there really is no increase in performance in the vintage. So if you're wanting better performance, again, you're better off going with Dior Homme Intense or Dior Homme Parfum. Don't track down the vintage bottle thinking it performs better. It really doesn't. So in the end, which one do I like better? I do really prefer the smell of the vintage better. There's just something about that smooth, leathery type of vibe. It puts off a lot more that I really like. Again, I love this as well, but that freshness just leans it more towards Dior Homme Eau, which I have. So I really don't reach for this one as much. If I'm going to be reaching for a fresher iris, I'm usually going to go with Dior Homme Eau because it performs better and it gets that job done. Whereas this one is just kind of stuck in the middle. It's kind of stuck in between Dior Homme Eau, Dior Homme Intense, and I really just don't find myself reaching for this one as much as I do. If it still had this formulation, this smell, I would probably reach for it a lot more because it's a little bit more masculine, it's a little bit more refined. Bird just hit the house. It's a little bit more masculine, it's a little bit more refined, and I'd maybe reach for it more on cooler winter days, cooler fall days. But again, in those situations, I'm probably going to be reaching for Dior Homme Eau, Dior Homme Intense, and this one I just don't reach for as much. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed this comparison between these two fragrances. If you did, don't forget to leave a like down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss when I post. And that's it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Give me a chance to